Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and I am revisiting a guitar today. This one, the V100 Lemon Drop by Vintage. I've actually bought 3 new vintage guitars. This one, the best Strat that they do, which is the Thomas Blug, and one of their Telecasters as well. And we're going to go through them and sort of how they've come out the box, you know, because I've always said there's good value in these guitars, but there's always certain issues you've got to sort of get past. So as we look at each one, I'll sort of tell you what those were as I came across, you know, different issues sort of thing. But like I said, starting off with a revisit, because we looked at this guitar in, it was one of my earlier videos, I think 2021, which is time's just flying. Like I'm still in this weird COVID time warp sort of thing. But yeah, it's been a little while. Lots of guitars I've looked at since, you know, lots of more expensive guitars, lots of similarly priced guitars. So like I said, I've been wanting to revisit it. So I'm going to do something a little bit different sound wise. I'm going to go straight into my pedal board and the Boss Katana, and I'm just going to do one take of me playing as many Peter Green sort of licks and stuff as I can, which I do feel a little bit sort of like exposed over, because it's, you know, I've been trying to play like that guy, you know, for 18 months or more since I've started really getting into him, and obviously I'm nowhere near, but I'm just going to go for it and through that show you, you know, some of the sounds I've got out of this guitar, and then we'll come back and do all the spec and the issues and what I think about it and stuff like that. So I'll see you in about 5 minutes time. So you heard sort of some of the Peter Green sort of sounds that I was getting out of this thing. Bonus points, by the way, if you can list what each one of them riffs were down below. Now I'm thinking about it, there's a few extra riffs I'd have liked to have done, but I just wanted to just plug it in and play, you know, without editing, just go for it and see how it kind of felt to play, and hopefully that came across as something a little bit different on the video. So let's go over the spec of this guitar then, and then I'll get to how it was out the box, which is almost exactly like it is now, apart from one pretty crucial thing, which I'll come back to in a minute. And then, yeah, just general thoughts on this guitar. So let's come in close so you can have a look at the top. If I can get the camera to focus. There we go. So hopefully you can see that these usually have a much tighter kind of veneer flame, but this one's got quite a loose, you know, sort of almost sort of 59-esque, you know, looser type flame. And it's obviously the non-distressed one, which I prefer on the Lemon Drop. I'll just show you the back there as well. But, you know, pretty nice veneer and a little bit different to some of the older ones that I've seen. It's also just under £8. There is no weight really for the, you know, it's pretty light Les Paul, to be fair. It's about the same weight as my Eastman. Tiny bit lighter maybe. But I do think it's chambered. If I knock through. I don't know, it might not be. It's just unusually light. These are spec'd as a 2-piece mahogany body, but I'm counting 3 pieces there because I've got 1, 2, and then a large piece. So if I can, that's kind of a good picture. So I'm counting 3 pieces of mahogany there, but they are spec'd as 2-piece. So whether or not that's a bit of an optical illusion with the grain, but I'm fairly certain that's a 3-piece body. Same mahogany on the neck as well. The profile is definitely thinner than I remembered, probably because I've been used to playing a lot of Gibsons and Eastmans since the last time I played this, but definitely a thinner neck than I remembered. But it's still comfortable. It doesn't have any flat spots on it. It's just a little bit thinner. And E to E, it feels a little bit thinner as well. But again, that might be because I'm used to Eastman at the moment. Just show the headstock there. Got Wilkinson tuners, Wilkinson sort of hardware throughout really, Wilkinson pickups, the bridge is also Wilkinson, so you know it's good quality, but it's not, you know, it's not something you'd find on a custom shop, but it's up there, you know, it's good quality stuff, Wilkinson. The pots are the mini alpha pots, we'll get back to that in just a minute, and the switch I think is just a generic, same switch you'd find in an older Epiphone before they you know, put switchcraft in them. Same with the jack. So electronics, definitely cheaper. You're definitely sort of seeing like the budget cut in there, should we say, but easy enough to upgrade if you wanted to. Just trying to think. Fret wire wise, you've got medium jumbos. And with vintage guitars on their Strats as well, even on their new, really cheap Strats, it is proper rosewood. Now, what type of rosewood, I'm not sure. It's going to be, you know, a lower grade rosewood, I would have thought. But the fact that you're still getting rosewood, for me, is like a huge plus, especially on the Strats, because, you know, even a player series now, you don't even get rosewood. And I just think that's a crime. You've got to have rosewood. And like I said, it's good that with vintage, you are still getting rosewood. So, you know, spec wise, everything is really solid, really nice, but the pots and switch, definitely spend a little bit of money and upgrade them. And in fact, I'm tempted to do that anyway as part of this guitar, just so it's done for the next person. Because you definitely, you know, I can notice that they're pretty kind of cheap and not getting the best out of the guitar sort of thing. Now, the setup on this guitar, like I said, I bought this, the Strat and the Tele, and I'll go through how each one was out the box as I get to those videos. But this one seemed really good. I actually bought this home just before I did the Cutlass video, because I was just going to play it straight out the box, and you know, because it looked really good. The frets were nice and shiny, the nut was cut right, wasn't sort of too low, the intonation felt pretty good. You know, the switch and everything was fine, so I was just going to take it straight out the box. But then I brought it home, plugged it in, and although the frets were polished, to be fair, and they're nicely sort of finished as well, there's no issues up and down the neck, but they were super scratchy. Like someone had leveled them and then not really, you know, finished them properly. And I took a video of this before and after, so I'll put that up now. It is on a phone mic, so it might sound exaggerated, but you'll hear the difference. So yeah, you can hear like the rough scratchy versus, you know, once I'd smoothed them off a bit. And you know, so that was a bit of a shame because it was all done pretty nice. But for me, like frets being that scratchy when you're trying to play, because yes, these are budget guitars, but they're still in the sort of £400 to £500 new price. So it's still like, you know, for me that's a solid mid-range guitar, especially when you compare it to like some of the guitars you can get now for that price. So really scratchy frets for me is like, you know, that's not going to pass sort of thing. But, you know, bit of work on them, like with most of the time with these guitars, a bit of work and they just feel lovely. And I love the fact they're medium jumbos as well, because they just feel, you know, really nice to play. So I think that sort of sums it up really. I'm never going to change my mind with these guitars, I don't think. Like, the hardware you get, the Wilkinson hardware, is good right up to like the £1,000 price point. You'll see vintage branded hardware on those type of guitars, and it's just decent hardware. The pickups sound great. I think, you know, this is super light, as I said before. I think it plays nice. I think the tuners are absolutely fine. If you like a thinner neck, you'll really like this neck. Visually, I guess it does take a tiny bit of getting used to, but for me, it's, you know, I think it looks pretty good. I definitely wouldn't be like ashamed of it or anything like that. It's just let down with some slightly cheaper electronics, which are cheap enough and easy enough to replace, but still, I think they should probably do that at this point. And the setup out the box, it's just not up to scratch. And this will be a theme as we go through the next vintage videos as well. But if you can get one, you know, either used and do all that yourself, or if you do want a new one like this, get it from someone who do all those things for you, and even to your own taste, and you will have a guitar that hasn't cost you like lots and lots of money, but will serve you for a long time and give you a lot of tones. So I have to still, you know, I do have to still kind of stand by these guitars, but it's just with that massive but on the end. And it's getting harder to sort of ignore that because there's other companies like Sire, you know, quite a few that are bringing out guitars at this price that are just like, you know, they've dialed it in a little bit more. So that's kind of my thoughts. This one, like I said, it is brand new, although I have filmed with it. Is for sale. I am chucking in a hard case with it. That's one of my own hard cases, but it fits this guitar really nice, and I will link that down below. And I think the next one we'll look at will be, it'll either be the Thomas Blug or the Tele. I'll let you comment below and tell me which one you want to see next. So sorry that's been a little bit rambly and the structure's a little bit different to normal, but it is a guitar we've looked at before, and I just wanted to kind of revisit it and see where I was at, you know, as a refresh kind of take on it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you again on another video.